Hey, it's Nay, and welcome to Hey Nay. So, the topic for this episode is double blind speed and dating. I decided I want to do this topic. It's sort of like three topics in one. I wanted to make sure I hit this before um, I stopped doing all these videos and everything. So, I sort of grouped them together so I can talk about them in comparison to each other as well as in um, sort of give scenarios and examples as to what the purpose of each is for. So first, double dating, or it could even be group dating. Um, so double dating is when um, you and your significant other are going out on a date with someone else and their significant other. So it's usually like two friends and their spouse, or four people who are all friends, but two of them have an intimate. Each pair has an intimate relationship with each other. And the purpose usually is just to expand friendship, is to expand the relationships that you already have and to sort of nurture them. Like double dating is usually recommended when you sort of want to introduce your significant other to your friends. So usually you would bring them along with your other friends. Usually you can do that in the first step as just like with one friend and another person that they have, so that it seems even and balanced and they don't feel ganged up on. But then once you start doing that, you can even do a group thing in which you're introducing your significant other to a whole bunch of other people who you have close relationships with. So the point of that is so that you can integrate your partner into your existing relationships, which is your friendships usually, or your family. Uh, and it's really good. It's really healthy because it shows that you're showing your partner that this is serious and that you really care about them and that you want them to know more about you and other people who are important to you. And then it shows your friends or your family that you value their opinion. You want them to get to know someone who you value a lot. So it's a lot. It's a lot of I guess you could say like nurturement in a sense. Like you're trying to sort of bring people together, and it's really really good. Honestly, I think it's great to do that. But then what happens when you don't know the person? So then there's blind dating, and blind dating, um, it comes with a lot of trust. So you are trusting a person to set you up with someone they believe would be best suited for you. Um, and with blind dating, a lot of people who sort of participate in it are usually doing it because it's not that you don't necessarily trust your own judgment, but it's more that you trust this person to find someone for you, or you believe that this person has your best interest in mind. And when you meet someone, what's so great is that in blind dating, you know that the other person is interested in trying to form some sort of relationship in the initial stage. And when you first finally see this person, you know that this person is interested in forming some sort of relationship. And I think that's very comforting because um, it sort of eliminates this undertone in which like, oh, like, are we going to become more than friends or not? Or what's going to happen here? Like, when you ask someone out, you don't know what's going to happen, or you're trying to get to know someone, you don't know there's a lot of that murky stuff. But when it comes to blind dating, you both know like, hey, we're not interested in being friends right now. We're interested in, potentially starting a new relationship. And it's really good. The best blind dates is when, um, you know, the person who is setting you up is also setting that person up too. So essentially, it's like this mutual friend, but this a good mutual friend, like a good mutual friend that you know that that essentially both parties trust, that is usually when it's the most successful, in my opinion. Um, and but again, it's really good because then um, you're trying to get to know each other. You're trying to form new relationships. And a blind date always usually leads to another date. Just because um, you know that the other person is trying to get to know you more. But I would say that the only negative side to it is that you don't really get too much of a benefit of the doubt in a sense. So because that person didn't choose to go on a date with you themselves, they didn't select you in a sense. Um, then they are less willing to accept things when they go wrong. So if someone makes a bad joke, you're probably completely turned off of this person, and you're completely like, nope, can't do it. And that's just because it's important. In your mind, it's like it's in poor taste, and this person chose this person. It's not working. I don't even want this person. But if you had selected that individual when they make a bad joke, you might be like, oh, I guess they probably didn't mean it like that. Or you may not even see it that bad. So there's a difference thing. So you have to, when you're doing blind dating, you have to remember um, to sort of still be very, very understanding, because people are nervous and sometimes they don't know what to say or they might say something off. And this is why I always recommend a second date. And it usually happens though. But a second date in which now it's not a blind date anymore because you have some sort of foundation now. You have some sort of background to this relationship. Um, then we go into speed dating, which is very interesting to me. I love it. So speed dating is sort of like these brief dates. It's like a serial dating of brief moments. So, for instance, it's usually something like, 2 to 5 minutes sitting and talking with a different person and moving on to the next. And it's really great because you cut out some of the stuff. You cut out the fluff. You cut out the, oh, how are you? All this other stuff. You get right into it. Like, oh, tell me about yourself. Like, oh, what do you like to do? What do you like to watch on TV? What kind of music you listen to? What do you do for work? Things like that. And you get right into it. What type of person are you looking for? That's a common speed dating question. And it's really, really great. And I like about it because it gives people options. It gives people options. And you can find what type of mate you are interested in. If you're looking for something serious and long term, there you go. If you're looking for something, casual and short term, you can find that too. Because that can all be uncovered in the speed dating arena in a way. So when you do that, you kind of go over, next person, next person, next person, and you sort of have your pick. And if you're interested in a person, you give them your number or whatever, and you can try to meet up afterwards, to have coffee or something else, or to actually have a real date. So it's really great. But side note, well, not really a side note, but speed dating is actually very close to the type of research I am doing. So I am very familiar with a lot of the research done on speed dating. And one of the major things is that sometimes in speed dating, it's not just you show up and you just start, going on these serial dates. You usually fill out some sort of form or application in which you're stating your preferences. So a lot of times you state your preferences and the organizer may have a prediction as to who you would be associated with. And they're usually interested in seeing how you will choose. And the research suggests that people typically do not choose who they prefer. So for instance, if you are filling out this form and you're saying, oh, I want a person who is, very, very environmentally friendly, very, I don't know, very smart, very funny, and then you end up choosing someone who is um, not really environmentally friendly, not really funny, kind of smart, but not really. But they're more this other thing, like they may be more adventurous, or they may be more shy, things like that. I don't know how you can be shy and adventurous, but whatever. Those type of things, they may have different qualities than the one you selected. So it's like, for instance, if Judy, if Judy on paper is pretty much saying that she wants this guy Bob, because everything that Judy says that she prefers in a mate identifies strictly as Bob, but she doesn't know that. So when it comes to the speed dating, and we asked her at the end, Judy, who are you most likely to want to date out of everyone? And she doesn't say Bob, and she says, David. And like that becomes a whole thing in which, why would she choose David? David does not match the qualities that she wrote down, the preferences that she said that she was interested in. Bob did, but yet she did not choose Bob. And that's because a lot of times, what we say we want is not necessarily what we want, or there's other things that sort of change our minds, and there's some other things that may weigh more. A lot of the times, another thing that the research says, that a lot of people get caught up in the physical attractiveness of a person. People don't usually, sort of stress that in their forms, how important physical attraction is. A lot of times people underplay it. But then when they're actually confronted with the person, they may lean towards someone more physically attractive, even if they don't carry those qualities that they said that they wanted. And that's called the halo effect. So what you're saying is that one quality that this person possesses makes that person just seem like the perfect person, or just seem like the best person for you. You completely ignore all the other attributes of that person. And a lot of times it can, it's sometimes it's good because it can open you up, but a lot of times it's not good, especially if you're looking for someone long term, because when you actually get to know this person more and everything, you realize like things may not work out, and you're not understanding why it's not working out. And it's not working out because that's not what you said you had wanted. You know what I mean? That's not what you said you preferred. You were sort of blindsided by a specific trait or quality that this person has, and then that sort of carried over into everything. So it's very, very interesting things to do. And that's the kind of stuff I'm looking into too. I'm looking at people's preferences in relationships, and it's very interesting because people prefer so many different people. They truly, truly do. In assortative mating is when people are looking for similar others. In complementary mating, people are looking for someone who is sort of opposite in the sense that they complement them, they sort of complete them, yin to my yang. And then you have self-expansion, which is that you're looking for someone who has a quality that you want. You know what I mean? They have the quality that you want to possess for yourself. So being around them, you believe that you can attribute that to yourself. So it's very, very interesting things. And I hope one day I can talk a lot about it more in depth when I actually conduct my own experiment, which I'm hoping is very soon. But that's pretty much the gist. I say try them all. Try them all. If you've never done it before, definitely try them all. I know people who have formed long-term relationships with people they have started from speed dating, with people they've started from blind dating. And then, I also see that people have formed very, very strong friendships with people they met through double dating or group dating. So I think we have to be open to these different forums, and I definitely think that you all should give it a try. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, share, love, and remember to always start your day off with a hey. Goodbye.